If you feel constantly tired, drained, exhausted, anxious, moody, having brain fog, and maybe even sleep problems, and nothing seems to be helping, you might be missing a key piece of the puzzle: your neurotransmitters. Those are your body's chemical messengers, and they help to regulate your body's brain and body chemistry, as well as your nervous system. Many of us have heard of chemical imbalances, but I bet no one ever told you that you can actually check your levels and even fix your levels naturally to have more energy, focus, and better sleep and a better mood. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the functional neurotransmitter test to help you understand how imbalances in your body's chemical messengers like dopamine, serotonin, GABA, and lots of others may be impacting your life. We're going to discuss what low and high levels really mean in context, how these different patterns tie into your stress system, and even relate to your cortisol levels. And we'll talk about how to have your own levels checked so you can get personalized information on how to balance your levels naturally. Our brain chemistry is not just about mental health, it's about our whole body health. So let's take a look at what the body's chemical messengers might be trying to tell you. This is the neurotransmitter walkthrough. I am Dr. Angela Mosley, and I am showing you the neurotransmitter test that I run for my clients. I've been seeing successful men and women for more than 14 years who run into a wall out of the blue. They end up with fatigue, with brain fog, just feeling completely worn out and exhausted, not sure why. And these are some of the tests that we do to figure out what's actually happening in their body. Then, what neurotransmitters are the body's chemical messengers. And so, a lot of us have heard of chemical imbalances that can lead to things like depression and anxiety and other issues that are going on. And these are those chemical messengers that regulate that. Most people don't tell you that you can actually check the levels and that we can actually fix those levels naturally. If you understand how the body is producing them, what's missing, and we just replace those missing components, but we have to see what's off with your body. It's not just about guessing and trying to take something for the symptoms because different imbalances can cause the same exact symptoms. And the way to address each imbalance is totally different depending on what's going on. So, a big part of the reason that I wanted to show you this is because neurotransmitters are, in a large way, the body's backup system for cortisol, especially if your body's been under stress, if your cortisol levels are depleted, which we saw in my other video, that a lot of times cortisol levels are pretty low throughout the day, not high like a lot of people try to mislead you to believe. And when your cortisol and adrenals are depleted and worn out like that, then the neurotransmitters start to adjust and compensate, and those levels start to get out of balance. And the longer we stay in stress, the longer we keep our habits and lifestyle out of balance, then the worse and worse these levels get. They just do not turn around and get better on their own. You usually have to see what's happening to address those issues very specifically, and then we can fix it. We can fix it naturally, and it doesn't take that long. Most people, once we're able to see their levels, are starting to feel better within the first 2 weeks. And they've been struggling for months or years without any answers. But the answers are here on your test. It's not on anybody else's test, it's yours for your body. That way, you know exactly what to do for these and not just try random things. You have to know what your body needs. And again, after 14 years of seeing thousands of clients, I've never seen two people with the exact same profile. It just doesn't happen. We looked at the gut test, we looked at the cortisol test. Each one of those are different. And when you put the combination of all these together, you really get a completely unique profile for each and every person. And so that has to be addressed very specifically, very uniquely. The way to reach out and book a call is in my profile. So if that is something that you want to do, it's there and those are free. So if you are struggling with brain fog, fatigue, anxiety, a lot of the other symptoms, sleep issues, can't focus during the day, then reach out. I'm here to help. Or even if this isn't the right thing for you, it's still a resource to guide you to what might be the best option for you and your body. So, the neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters are things like serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine, and then there are more here glutamate, GABA, and they do different things in the body. So, some of them help with mood, focus, some of them help with satisfaction, getting activities done. Some of them help with energy. So, if cortisol is low and these are low, then you're really going to have double reasons for low energy. On this one, these two are not too bad. And so, this is why we want to know where these levels are. I'm going to show you different reports where they are really out of control. Down here, this PEA level helps control focus and concentration. And with that being low, this person is probably having a really hard time concentrating. We're going to look at some other levels just to show you that from person to person, these are all different. So on the last one, we saw serotonin being pretty low. And now serotonin levels are on the higher side for this person. And then dopamine is in the normal range. Norepinephrine is high, epinephrine is low. Theirs are kind of zigzagging all over the place. They have some on the high side, some on the low side. And for each one of these, what you want to do is something totally different. And so it's not just, oh, your neurotransmitters are out of balance. Just take this one supplement and that's going to fix it. No, we have to look at each and every one and address these very, very specifically. I showed you the PEA on the last one that one was low, and this one is on the normal high side. And so they won't have the same symptoms, and they might because of a different reason, but not because of this. And we've got to treat exactly what's going on. And that's how we get results that work. That's how we get results that work fast. And that's how we get results that last for a long time, even a lifetime. Because during this process, you're going to start to learn your body what it needs and what it doesn't need. You're not going to learn somebody else's body. You're not going to learn your neighbor's body or your coworker's body or your friend's body or your cousin's body, but yours. You're not going to learn that influencer's body, but your body. And we're going to balance that and get that right. And we look at a different profile. The last one was kind of all over the place. And this one is mostly trending towards the lower side. So they are having a lot of low neurotransmitters. They are probably feeling pretty wiped out, pretty exhausted, probably a pretty low mood, not feeling very satisfied or happy most of the time. And a lot of times we can beat ourselves up for this and think, I have a pretty good life. I have a successful career. Why don't I feel good? Why don't I feel grateful? Why don't I feel happy? But these chemical messengers control mood. And so if these are super out of balance like this and very low, then it's going to put you in a low mood, a low mindset. And a lot of times it's hard to get out of that thinking pattern. And it's because of where these levels are. It's not because you're thinking negative and you just need to be more grateful and change your thought process. I even went through that with my own imbalances, and that's not the reason. The reason are these literal imbalances that are happening in your body that you can fix, but you can only fix it if you see what's going on. I can't even predict. I've been doing this for more than 14 years, and I can't even predict what this pattern is going to be like from person to person because, again, the symptoms are not the cause. These different imbalances, different ones can do the exact same thing. So you got to know specifically what you're dealing with, and then we can treat that exactly. And when I say treat it, I don't mean throwing antidepressants at it because someone with lower end serotonin levels, low norepinephrine and epinephrine, that's also called your adrenaline. You're going to be wiped out and exhausted. And if you have low cortisol, like what we saw in that other test, nothing you do is going to give you that energy. You can't exercise your way out of this. You can't eat your way out of this, with clean eating and dieting and all that. We really got to support your body in a very targeted way to get the results that we're looking for. You can't even throw antidepressants at this. Most antidepressants are what we call SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. If your serotonin is low and this is just keeping the amount of serotonin you have, it's not going to improve anything. There are ways to increase your serotonin naturally, and that's giving your body what it needs to make more serotonin. The antidepressants don't give your body what it needs to make more serotonin. It just blocks certain receptors to allow what you have to hang out in your body longer, but that's not fixing the problem at all. That's why a lot of antidepressants don't really help a lot of people, but it's one of the most prescribed categories of pharmaceuticals on the market. And we see another profile, and this one is even different than the last one we saw, kind of more all over the place levels. And we want to treat this person very specifically for what they have going on. Most of these people are having the same complaints. I'm exhausted. I can't focus. I'm anxious. All those same things over and over. A lot of weight issues, sleep issues, mood issues. It's the same things, but all of these profiles are different. How you have to address it is totally different, even though on the outside, on the surface, it seems the same. And this is how a lot of these supplement companies are taking advantage of people because the symptoms don't match up with the results. We've got to start with what's happening in your body. We start with your body first. We don't start with, let's find this magical solution for what? No, we start with what matters, which is you. And then we build a solution for you specifically from there. And again, another one, results, some of them high, some of them low, all over the place. PEA that gets really high, you can start not trusting people around you. Like, I don't know if I trust you, your spouse, your kids, your coworkers, your boss, different things. And so you think that you're just paranoid or something like that. You're not just paranoid. These levels need to be brought down to the normal ranges. And there are natural ways to do that. Again, usually I'm going to be using natural supplements, a lot of dietary changes and things like that. And we can get the results that you're looking for. And we see another profile here. This one is looking pretty low across the board again. And these are things that we need to address. This, again, is not going to get better on its own. It's usually not going to get better by improving your diet because when we're seeing patterns like this, again, the gut is usually off too. And like I said, that's that first domino that started this chain reaction that got to this in the first place. And so if you improve your food and eating, and this frustrates a lot of people, like, I'm eating so clean, I'm doing all the right things. But if your body isn't digesting and absorbing it, it's not having an effect. So we've got to start to address all of these things comprehensively to really get the results that you're looking for. If you want to know more about the neurotransmitter test, my link is below, mamawellness.com/NT test, or see the link in my bio or in the description. I'm Dr. Angela Mosley. I'm here to help. If you want to see if this is right for you, book a free call. I'm here to be a resource. I will literally talk to anybody. That's what it's for. And so reach out if you have been having anxiety or mood challenges or focus issues or energy issues. This is what this is designed to help. If you're a professional, you've done really well in your career, you've done all the right things, you try to exercise and eat right and take the supplements and nothing is working. It's these tests that are usually that missing component that can get you the results that you need. Hopefully this is helpful. Share it if you know anyone else who can benefit from the information, and I'll see you in the next one.